Right, so as you can see, the power levels are in their favor ever so slightly, and you know what that means. Anyway, I'm going to tell my archers to charge in now as well. Oh, we're losing so many units right now. We are losing so many units. Hello and welcome back to our Duelist adventures. Now, when we left off, we had no war declarations at all, and, well, that's actually kind of the same at the moment. However, I have just come across this guy, and I thought, hey, you know what? This seems like a pretty cool idea. Let's see if we can maybe beat this guy in combat. I have been absolutely itching to get into a battle, because we've just gained our 200 level one-handed perk, and that is to increase my movement speed in battle by 5% once more, which is it's so good. It is so incredibly good. I'm actually wondering whether there are a number of other perks that I've missed, and those ones might also give me movement speed in battles. So I'm going to see if I can take a look through the skill tree, and maybe we'll find something like that. Anyway, as you can see, look at the power levels. Look at the power levels. They're actually pretty good. I mean, I outnumber this guy pretty much 2 to 1. I mean, not really, but almost 2 to 1. And he's still got a decent amount of combat strength remaining. I'm a bit worried. Actually, I'm a bit worried about this, but this is the first time that we're actually going into a battle against the Harbingers of Wrath in a significant way. Ooh. Okay, I know 5% shouldn't really... Look at him. 5% shouldn't really make a huge difference, but do you see how fast he runs when he's not doing any kind of animation? So if he's doing any kind of command, he does tend to slow down, and also similar thing, you know, when you're actually attempting to attack, I would assume, is going to slow him down a little bit. But in general, I am very pleased. Oh yes, I am very pleased. It's going to be a lot of fun to see just how fast we can actually get, because I'm thinking, you know, at this point, I'm thinking that maybe what I'll do is downgrade my armor specifically to save weight, because if I save weight, I'm gonna move even faster. Yes, I'm going to move even faster, but bear in mind, obviously there's no dodge mechanic in the game, unfortunately. I've actually mentioned this multiple times over the years, that I personally feel like it would be a very cool idea to add a dodge skill of some kind. And I know a bunch of people have said that they don't really think that that's going to be too suitable for the game, because it adds an element of RNG and so on in a combat situation. And obviously you don't want RNG to enter your combat situation. Obviously, you know, that's to be expected. However, there's already a small element of that kind of already there. So I don't know. I personally feel like it would really add a significant amount of viability to certain character builds, because obviously right now my character build is, well, let's say it's fun, right? It's fun, but it is certainly not the most efficient, because here's the thing. I'm able to do massive amounts of damage, right? I'm able to do massive amounts of damage. I can move around very, very quickly. I am weak against archers, of course, but indeed, two-handed weapon users are also kind of weak against archers, so that kind of balances out a little bit. But that's the reason why I think having a dodge skill of some kind in the one-handed and maybe two-handed trees as well would make a little bit of sense. Angry Cook I just killed. Gordon Ramsay, what are you doing here? Are you serious? Anyway, the point is, I'm not even talking about 100% dodge chance or even 50% dodge chance here. I'm thinking maybe about 25% dodge chance, and maybe make it a relatively mid to high tier skill. So I don't actually know what is in the skill tree of the two-handed weapons recently, because I haven't played a two-handed character that recently, but I do remember that there are not too many really, really good skills in that tree. So maybe adding a little bit of a secondary in there would be kind of cool. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about something a little bit different now. Maybe a low-tier skill that gives you, like, I don't know, 10% dodge, and then a higher tier skill that gives you 15% dodge. And I'm talking about dodge as in there is a percentage chance for you to dodge, or should we say negate, either a certain amount of damage from an attack. I'm going to let this guy go because he's going to give me massive amounts of charm skill. And maybe potentially fully negating an ability. Now, I know, a lot of people are going to say, hey, that's too much. You know, being able to completely negate an attack is too much. And sure, okay, you know, that's absolutely fine. That's for the balancing team to work on, not me. You know, I'm just suggesting something here, and I personally feel like it could work very, very nicely. For those of us that are actually playing characters that do not use shields, it is probably going to be very, very nice. Now, I'm not talking about making it so that horse archers can get this thing, or polearm users or anything like that, because it's going to make Imperial Cataphracts way too powerful. It's going to make horse archers way too powerful, because if you can dodge arrows, which I'm not really suggesting that you can dodge arrows at this point. However, there's already a skill that kind of does that in the two-handed tree. If you take a look over here, where is it? Where is it? Is this it? No? Is that it? No? There we go. There we go. That's what it is. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is not actually working yet. I don't know whether that has been worked on, because I haven't checked Bannerlord perks in a while. But being able to deflect arrows with two-handed weapons, changing block positions, is extremely powerful. That is extremely, extremely powerful. If you can be really, really skilled with this, you could pretty much become invulnerable to ranged attacks. I have no idea how that's going to work, by the way. I don't know whether you're going to need to block certain directions to be able to block certain arrow shots. You know, if an arrow is coming to your head, then you should block overhead, or what. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. However, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Something to give one-handed duelists like myself and two-handed weapon users a little bit of extra survivability. And I'm only talking about that maybe if they have light armor on as well. So I'm talking about maybe something like... I mean, my armor at the moment is maybe a little bit too weighty for what I'm talking about, but maybe something that is 8 or less weight. So you're obviously not going to be wearing something that is super tank-like, you know, to completely give yourself full immunity. But we've seen in the past, in various battles, I have been able to die. You know, it is very, very possible, and indeed likely, that I can get myself taken out. I'm not immune by any means, even with a good amount of damage reduction. But I think a 10% chance initially, and then a 15% chance later on to dodge either, as I say, either the entire attack or partially. Because let's say you dodge something, and I'm not talking about supernatural abilities here, obviously. I'm talking about, let's say that you're a particularly skilled swordsman. You might very well be able to dodge something, but then maybe you get grazed a little bit, you know what I mean? So maybe it's a little bit of a graze slash that happens when you're fighting an opponent of a particular level, for example. I mean, obviously it could be fleshed out more and more and more, dependent on, you know, a variety of different factors, dependent on what the developers want to do and all that sort of thing. I'm not, you know, not trying to suggest anything too outlandish here, but that kind of thing would add a huge amount of variety to character builds, and it would very much make a huge difference, at least in my opinion, because at the moment, the most efficient, I don't know whether you've noticed this, you probably have, but the most efficient way to build your character is one-handed, shield, and then some kind of ranged weapon more likely a bow rather than a crossbow. And bow basically wins every single time, even against thrown weapons. Obviously, dependent on what kind of theme you want for your character, that would make, that would make a pretty big impact on what people are going to select. And they've done some pretty good work actually on trying to make the different ranged weapons feel different to use as well, because obviously we saw that at the tail end of the previous series where we were using a bow and it had completely changed. The way that you aim the bow has completely changed in comparison to what it was before. And I don't know whether you noticed, but our clan tier has advanced in level as well. So we are now clan tier 4, I believe. Yes, indeed. We are clan tier 4, and now we need 2,350 renown. Well, that's going to take me a while. Alright, this might be a little bit underhanded, but you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. Anyway, you can see here we are just about to declare war on the Crusade, and you'll see a little bit of underhanded strategy from me in just a second. Anyway, we're going to be spending 40 influence here because a little bit of charm skill and steward skill never hurt anyone. And we're almost at 75 charm. That's pretty good. Not too bad, not too bad. Maybe it could come in handy sometime in the future, who knows, but at the moment, obviously not so much. Anyway, there we go. We have now declared war, and as you can see, I have maneuvered myself into a position where I should be able to immediately get into a battle with this vassal, which is the slightly underhanded thing that I was talking about, because let's face it, I'm never, ever in a million years going to be able to get into any kind of situation against these Crusade if they have the entirety of their army being completely cavalry. That's just a fact. There's no way I will be able to move as fast as they do on the world map, which is, in my opinion, a bit ridiculous, but that is just how it works. You know, if you have a bunch of cavalry, then obviously the cavalry is going to give you a significant speed bonus, because that's how it works. If people are on horses, they're obviously going to move much faster. That's the thing. I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to purchase as many horses as I can get my hands on to try and move my army across the world map just that much quicker. Unfortunately, it hasn't really worked out as intended, and it is making things maybe a little bit difficult for us, because here's the thing. If I actually suffer a serious defeat, or if I have a slight problem in terms of, well, casualties in any way, shape or form, then I will then start to suffer herd difficulties, and that's going to result in a very slow-moving party indeed. So we're in a bit of a sort of rock-hard place kind of situation, because if I don't buy horses, I'm going to be super slow. But if I do, and then end up losing a huge amount of my own units, then we are going to suffer at that point. So it's kind of a time bomb, pretty much. You know, it really depends on what is obviously going to happen in that span of time. But, well, I'm just going to try and move as fast as I possibly can and just act under the assumption that I will not end up losing huge amounts of units, but, well, you never know when that's going to happen, because of course, as previous experience has shown us, sometimes even if you go into a battle expecting to win it, especially against the Crusade, sometimes, yes, sometimes it can surprise you. Let's just say that. Anyway, there you go. Nice victory for us. That was a pretty simple one, to be honest. Anyway, we did lose a couple of units. Nothing really to write home about there. Alright, so I'm going to be letting her go for no other reason but to gain a little bit of charm skill, and because I don't believe the prisoner system is fleshed out enough to actually give us anything of note. So I might as well gain some charm skill as a result of that, because there have been mods in the past, and I'm looking at, I'm not sure on the actual name of it on the website, but on Nexus there used to be, I don't think it's actually up to date with the current game version, but there used to be this mod that would allow you to negotiate with your opponent for prisoners, and that would Oh, that was so nice. It was so incredibly nice, because it would basically allow you to decide on every single aspect of the negotiations. And if you were a trading character like I was at the time, I think I think I used the same one with Mr. Pellisor that I did with Byron, but anyway, the point is, if you did that, you'd have the ability to bargain with vassals for fiefs, for money, for items, for whatever you wanted. And that was an insane amount of freedom, actually, that you'd gain from that. And unfortunately, that mod is no longer up to date, as I said, and so we don't really have any way of negotiating with enemies surrounding the whole prisoner taking mechanic. So yeah, we kind of have to just wait and see what the developers decide to do. Maybe there's another mod out there that does a similar thing. There probably is, let's face it, but I think that the developers will probably have something up their sleeve to flesh out those mechanics quite nicely, because they've already talked about prison breaks and everything, so they must be thinking about something else in regards to prisoners themselves, and when you attempt to rescue them, or when you take them indeed, because the only option cannot be to execute them, you know, because otherwise it's basically a matter of them staying and rotting in your prison, prisoner dungeon place, or, well, them escaping. That's it. Those are the two options. It's execution or escape, and both of them are terrible. So, yeah, that's the kind of thing that needs to be revamped a little bit. Anyway, I'm actually going to be attempting to take this, and wait a minute. Isn't this the Death Castle? I think this is the Death Castle that I actually got trapped in before. Okay, we might want to be a little bit cautious here. Alright, so let me just manage my army real fast. Okay, so Sicanus. I'm going to call for a bunch of people, actually, because I have a... Do I want to spend this huge amount of influence on this siege? Sure. Why not? Let's see what happens. Now, bear in mind, we already have a pretty significant combat strength at this castle, just with our current army. Desporion? Why are you fighting for the Crusade? Oh, never mind. Well, I think we kind of know why he's fighting for the Crusade. Anyway, let me just try and build a battering ram and a siege tower real fast. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, question. Why are my people so slow at getting here? I know, you're going to blame me and you're going to say, well, you should have called for the army before going for the siege. And yes, okay, sure. Okay. That could definitely, you could definitely say that. Can I stop being disorganized now? Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Now I am suffering all kinds of painful memories at this place, because this, really, 850? Come on now. They could have just sent Desporion and this one guy, and that would have been enough, I think. Okay, wait a minute. Get him, Sicanus. Yes. Come on, surely you're faster than. Oh, never mind. Apparently he's just decided to merge with me. Oh, Vipon. Yes, perfect. You're coming from this direction. Yes, excellent. Okay, now that is perfect. Okay, we're going to be fighting most of these battles manually, because I'd like to try and level up my one-handed weapon proficiency as much as I possibly can. Don't think there's anything else that I really badly want to get. The 5% movement speed was something that I was really excited about. And as you can see, I'm moving, well, not as fast as a horse, of course. I mean, that's really never going to happen. I mean, no one is going to be able to run as fast as a horse unless you have, I don't know, 250 athletics or something like that, and I don't know how I'm going to get there, to be honest. But anyway, it's going to be interesting, nevertheless, to see what happens. And this army is significantly smaller than I thought. Interesting. Alright, Well, let's get my archers over here. Let's tell my... should I just tell my cavalry to charge in? No, I don't really want to do that. That's going to get them killed needlessly. Oh, hello there. Okay, you're going to try and shoot me, you absolute imbecilic horse archer. Ugh. Yes, I hate these. Horse archers, horse archers. I mean, that's the thing. I have respect for them. I absolutely have respect for them. They are probably some of the most skillful units. However, they are so incredibly powerful. It kind of grinds my gears a little bit. Anyway, gonna tell my infantry to charge in right here. Gonna tell my cavalry and my horse archers to charge in to try and intercept the enemy's cavalry. And we'll see what else we can do. Maybe myself can... Oh, hello. I actually hit that guy purely by mistake. Because I was actually going to get myself into the back lines of the opponent's ranged. Well, that actually worked very nicely. Did you see that? Wow. I'm actually surprised that we were able to do that, to be honest. But did you happen to notice some of those minor things that I tend to do? At least I try to do them as much as I possibly can, especially if I do have a little bit of allied assistance. I can do them much more easily here and there. For example, a little bit of cavalry support really makes a huge difference when charging into enemy archer lines, because you saw one of those horses come next to me. I used one of those horses just as the archer was about to shoot as a shield. And I don't know whether you heard that, but the arrow was loosed. He literally fired the arrow just as the horse came in front of me, so it was absolutely perfect timing on that cavalryman's part. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, there you go. We did end up losing a couple of units, but that is not a big deal. Anytime we can eliminate an enemy vassal, that is all the better. This is a minor vassal, so I can basically just let him go. Technically, I should be probably taking these guys prisoner, because it is very irritating to have the Khuzait continually come back again and again. However, I've said that I don't really want to take them prisoner. That's the thing. I don't really want to take them prisoner because it slows us down, and it basically makes it so that we have no one else to earn experience against. Although, that's the thing. Misui is over there. We know how powerful Misui can be. I don't really want to anger her any more than I already have. And as a result, I kind of... It's a bit... I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, I'm going to go for 7 veterans, I think. This is probably pretty good, but we have to be a quartermaster for this, it says. I mean, it has the quartermaster tag, so I'm wondering whether I need to put myself as quartermaster for my army, which would be, I suppose, okay. Don't really mind too much about that, but yeah, 4 passive experience gain for tier 4 troops. Seems pretty good. Tier 4 and above, that is. Anyway, let's see what the other perks are for the next level of one-handed. Increases your damage with one-handed weapons by 5%, or you gain 5 hit points. Right, I know which one I'm taking. Yes, you know which one I'm talking about, the one that's better. Anyway, so we're going to obviously grow our army quite considerably here. I'm wondering whether Misui wants to attack us now. Do you think she wants to attack us now when we have 700 units? Yeah, she probably would. Right? Yeah, she probably would. Now I'm kind of at a loss, because I would have been able to complete my siege preparations and probably have my battering ram up by the time all of these people joined me. So it would have been very nice, but unfortunately, it seems as though we might be ambushed a little bit. Wait a minute. There was something that actually popped up there real quick. Ooh, I was very much hoping that that was Misui's army that was being defeated there, but unfortunately it doesn't appear to be the case. So we are going to just have to cross our fingers, I suppose. We'll just cross our fingers and... hello there. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Why is she being like this? Why is she being like this? I'm going to have to end the siege ahead of schedule here. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, I'd love to... I'd love to help that guy over there, but unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to. Can I move faster? Yes, I can, but this is the thing. We need to get out of range. Oh, they're doing that. They're doing that strategy. Did you see that? Yeah, that strategy is, in my opinion, ridiculous. I think it is imbalanced as nothing else, basically. But a couple of people said that it wasn't, so it's a difference of opinion, I suppose. I don't understand why that should happen, because as far as I'm aware, I think that the developers actually thought of that in a previous version, and they made it so that you, as the player, would get slowed down upon exiting an army, because obviously if you exit an army, you're going to have to retrieve all of your units, and you're going to have to make sure that they're all accounted for, basically. But when the AI does it, and their army disbands, they get this unnatural speed boost, and they seem to get caught up to you extremely quickly. Right, so as you can see, the power levels are in their favor ever so slightly, and you know what that means. Well, I suppose the only thing that I can really be a little bit thankful for is this battlefield. I feel like this battlefield is pretty good for us because there are so many trees. And so, yeah, it seems like most of them are actually solid because, I don't know whether you know, but some of these trees do not actually have any mass to them, so you can literally run right through them. And if that was indeed the case, and most of these are fake trees, it is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and we are going to lose against the Khuzait so incredibly quickly, you would just miss it if you blinked, basically. But thankfully, it seems like most of these do have some mass to them. I think the thin ones don't. Yeah. The super thin ones don't. But everything else seems to be alright in that regard. So I suppose that's not too bad. I would feel a little bit better if we had more of a height advantage for our archers, but we can't really choose, can we? We can't really choose. We're in a very bad position right now. And as you can see, the enemy is even able to defeat us just from range. Really? Just from range? Are you serious right now? That's actually crazy. Right. I have barely any cavalry either. I have barely any cavalry. Okay, I'm going to have to tell my cavalry to charge in, I suppose, try and intercept the enemy's cavalry. I can't be too audacious myself either because I do not want to perish ahead of schedule. If I die without achieving a considerable combat advantage in this fight, then this is a surefire loss. And we will have built up this army for nothing, and I will have to build everything back up from scratch. So I can only hope we are going to be achieving victory here. I need to actually switch to my blunt weapon, I think, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do that much damage to these heavily armored units without some blunt penetration. There we go. Blunt penetration, yes, okay. Let's just not talk about that. Anyway, let's see if we can maybe do some damage with this. Yes, thank you very much. Seems like these guys are actually suffering quite a bit of morale damage. Right, okay, gonna tell my infantry to charge it. Oh, no, there was someone in the back line, are you serious? Oh, I didn't even see that guy. Oh well, that was bad. That was really, really bad. Okay, I'm gonna tell my infantry to charge. Hopefully they'll deal with everyone in the area. Oh, nice, we took out this guy. That is very, very good. If he can go down, that would be nice. There we go. Okay, that's good. And I think I can now tell my infantry to hold position once again, now that we have eliminated them. Let's tell our archers to also hold position in a slightly different area. And I think we're pretty good to switch to our sword now once again. Oh, nice. That was a good shot. I'm trying to skirmish here, basically. I'm trying to skirmish as much as I possibly can. My infantry do need to come over here, though. Unfortunately, we're up against a lot of cavalry right now. I was hopeful that I could maybe take out that guy's horse because he seemed quite strong. Seems like he has been taken off his horse now. Oh, mercenary cavalry. Yeah, okay, so tell my guys to charge in once again. Basically, I want to try and alternate between charging and not charging, because if I just tell them to charge in, we're going to charge into the enemy's reinforcement zone, and that is, ooh, that's a death sentence. That's usually a death sentence, so I generally would not want to do that, for the most part. Ooh, really wanted to get that guy. Oh, never mind, I think he might be dead. Yep, I think he charged in a little bit too early. There we go. Alright, how many cavalry do I have? Okay, I've got none, basically. So, I'll just tell them to charge if they're not already charging, of course. I've got to make sure that I stay alive. I'm very injured. I can die from pretty much anything at this point. I'm going to tell my archers to charge in now as well. This is somewhere that I think we're probably going to have to hold position. We're going to have to hold position around about here. Nice kill from that guy. More of these fellows coming up. Okay, yeah, heavy horse archers. Ooh. They're powerful. They're very, very powerful indeed. Nice. Take out that guy. There's another one. Is he gonna... Yes, he's gonna circle around. Oh, no! I got charged. I got charged. That stopped me from my my attack animation right there. That was not particularly good. Let's tell my infantry to charge in once again. And we're just gonna get to the top of this hill with our archers and then try to hold position. This is still an uphill battle, if you excuse the pun. Haha. Yes. But this is still very much an uphill battle, as you can no doubt tell from the combat strength. We cannot believe we are winning this. We cannot believe that. Because we are very far away from it. Extremely far away. If we can get our archers... Oh, yeah, we're... I don't know. We're suffering quite a lot of damage. Maybe I should just continue telling my guys to charge in. That might actually make more sense, because we're getting kind of killed from their ranged units at the moment. So maybe it would be a better idea for us to just charge in and just have our archers back us up as much as we possibly can. I'm going to have to be careful myself. Oh, hello. Hello there. Get him. Yes. Yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice. Yes, Imperial Cataphract. Oh, yeah, it's one of Desporion's units, of course. Didn't really want to be fighting those Imperials, thank you. They're very, very powerful. Anyway, I'm going to tell my archers to charge in now as well. Oh, we're losing so many units right now. We are losing so many units. Oh, okay. Whew. I tried. I tried my best, like no one's business. If you I don't know. I hope you saw that. That's all I can say. I hope you saw that because I was very much trying right there. All of my concentration, you know, instead of running my mouth all over the place, I was, you know, hopefully trying to keep ourselves in the battle, and we'll see what happens. Where are all of my people? I have no idea where anyone is. I can only hope that they are going to continue maybe winning this. I don't know, because they have a number of I don't know. It is I can't call this. It's too close. I think we will win. I think we will win this. This is Masui's army that we saw earlier. They have been a thorn in our side for the last, I don't know, 15 minutes. So it is a very new arch nemesis, but still. Right. I am very, very pleased about that. That is probably, I don't even know. I always say this, but I think that's probably one of the closest. Actually, no. You know what? It is not one of the closest fights we've ever had, because there was one other fight where it came down to like 5 people. So, obviously not in this series, but in a different series, where we were up against a similar adversary, and it came down to, I think 10 of our guys and 5 of the enemy, but 5 of the enemy were like all elite cavalry or something like that, and then eventually it came down to like 2 or 3 people. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. We actually achieved victory, and I only gained, are you serious that I only gained 16 renown for that? Oh, why only 16? That is absolutely ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Okay, well, this is exactly the kind of situation that I was warning everyone about, and now my overabundance of horses is going to make a huge problem for us. But there you go, we were able to achieve victory, and I think what I'm actually going to do is, if I have the ability to take people prisoner, I will actually let some of them go. Like, for example, her, I'm going to let her go. But if I notice that they are a clan leader or something like that, then it more than likely will be... Oh, wait a minute. How do I know who this guy is? What? Oh, he's part of the Kurdic. Okay, so yeah. So Masui is obviously the leader there, so I will let him go. And she has already been taken prisoner by Najun, hilariously enough. And look at this. Look at how many units they have here. 71 for rescue. I'm going to be taking most of these with the exception of the Khuzait. So I'm actually going to rescue all of them. But I will then let the Khuzait and the militia, freebooters, and so on go back to their respective locations. I'm going to keep the Batanians. Didn't really want to use Batanians, but for the moment, just to take advantage of the herd problems, I'm going to just use them just for now. And I think I'm still over. Got some militia right there. Yeah, this is slightly problematic, isn't it? Right, okay, so I'm going to have to get rid of some of the Batanians then. So I suppose the lower tier Batanians can go. I barely have any, apparently. So I guess I'll get rid of those guys. Do I have enough now? Do I have enough space? No, still not. Okay, wow. I'm not even entirely sure what to do here, to be honest. Alright, so more Batanians can go. Batanians... I think that should be fine. Let's go for that. Some of the tier 4? I mean, I kind of want to keep the Aserai units. I don't really care too much about Aserai being in here. What about the Righteous Citizens? They become manhunters. They're pretty good in my opinion. So what about some of these Imperial scouts there? I mean, I kind of want to keep the tier 4 and the tier 5 Batanians. Mounted skirmishers? Yeah, you can kind of let those go. Alright, I think we have enough now. Yep, there we go. Alright, so what about prisoners? Well, there's a huge amount of those, isn't there? And we have... well, not much space, so we could make it work. Veteran archers... Imperial veteran archers, that is. And what else do we want? Well, we don't really want that much more. There are some manhunters here. They are pretty good once they level up into sheriffs. Oh, Imperial crossbowmen and these guys. There we go. That was pretty good. Let's take the rest of those as well. All right, fantastic. Now let's take a look at the loot. I can assume the loot is going to be extremely nice. I hope. Where's all the good loot? Okay, there we go. Some good loot. What about the armor? Yeah. This is what I thought. This is the kind of thing that you're going to be getting from these kinds of battles. Absolutely insane amounts of very highly protective gear. I'm going to just take all of that, and then we'll move on. But, wow. That was quite a stretch, wasn't it? That was quite a stretch. All right. Don't really want to... I'm not going to expand my entire army. I'm just going to get rid of all of these other guys, and I'm just going to keep Najun with me. And I'm going to be speaking to him right now, because what I want to do is I want to transfer all of the prisoners over to me. What does he need? Does he need anything from me? I can't transfer any money over to him. Technically, I could transfer some armor to him. Actually, that might make sense. So should I just give him? Should I just give him some armor that is gonna sell for a significant amount? I don't know. Does that actually sell for a significant amount? I have no idea. That's the point. I can't actually tell the price unless I look at it. Oh well. He's got 36,000 gold, which is actually pretty good. Anyway, there you go. We're increasing our relation with him a little bit. That's absolutely fine. And now we can move on and do whatever we want. But that was insane. All right, so do we have any herd problems? No, we don't have any herd problems, mainly because I took all of those units, I assume. Probably because of that. But yeah, we're still moving at a pretty decent pace, and now these guys are going to escape from our party. I really hoped that we'd be able to get to Chinopsis Castle, because we are so incredibly close, and then just put them in the prisoner's hold there, because I actually wanted to keep Misui off the battlefield as much as we possibly could, because let's face it, she is an absolute monster who is capable of fielding these insanely large armies, and you definitely don't want someone like her running around and causing a big old ruckus. So we're just going to put all of these people in there, and there we have it. All right. There you go. I hope you've had a good December, by the way, because obviously the day being what it is. I hope you had a nice one. And otherwise, yeah, well, let's look forward to 2021. Maybe it's going to be a little bit better than 2020. Who knows? Well, obviously I'm going to continue making this series. You're going to see me, maybe, unless I die after this. Who knows? I mean, you never know whether a meteorite's going to come in and just go bonk on the head. But anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.